Welcome, friends, to the year 2025, the crucible of our era where cosmic forces are colliding in a once-in-a-millennia convergence, shattering the paradigms, thrusting humanity into possibly the most profound, electrifying, and history-defining year we've ever known. We're going to have 5 planets changing signs. Well, actually, Pluto already changed. The other 4 outer planets changing signs, the nodes of destiny shifting into the existential axis. It is truly a global atmosphere charged with apocalyptic intensity on every level. We are truly standing at the crossroads of lifetimes where humanity faces an urgent call to evolve and a massive split in consciousness is likely to occur. But within this storm lies immense possibility, and as the veils of the Maya dissolve, higher frequencies and expanded levels of consciousness are becoming more and more accessible to more and more people than ever before. So while this year is very likely going to challenge us at every level, it's also a gateway, a cosmic invitation to rise above the chaos and co-create a future rooted in truth, cohesion, purpose, and wonder. Reality as we know it is being rewritten in the year 2025, and you are not a bystander. You are a creator, a necessary force in the weaving of this new reality into being. Thank you for being here today with me on this journey. My name is Shannon Gill. I am an evolutionary astrologer. I weave in Buddhist philosophy, Jungian psychotherapy, mystery teachings into my work. So we weave together math, science, myth, religion, spirituality. And so we're inviting you to accept what resonates and please just dismiss the rest. So a little bit about our journey today. We're going to be talking about this new consciousness, this new language we call creator language. Of course, we'll talk about the shifting canvas, which is the larger cycles, the microscope, then down to the micro cycles, the year. And this is a presentation, is half of a year of the astrological atmosphere, which is going to be January through July. And then we will take a peek into the future, into the year 2027, the prophecies of the gene key 55. And then I'll leave you today with some suggestions and some remedies and some ideas as far as making the most of this year for you and your loves in your life. So as we are entering this brave new world, I know that if you have followed my work, you know that we've been anticipating this moment in evolutionary history for some of us for decades, other of us for lifetimes. We are truly here to write a new story. This is a completely different fabric of reality that we are here to awaken, that we are here to architect. We are now the awakened dreamers. We have arrived. And the Great Awakening has this dissolving of the illusion aspect, the illusion of separation. And so that is where we wake up and remember our God self. And that is also what we're going to be talking about in this presentation, as well as this evolution of humanity on a genetic level from Homo sapien to Homo sanctus, Homo luminous, Homo universalis. There is an actual biological process going on that is shifting us into higher frequencies, higher vibrations. And this is where, when we're anchored as the central channel, we become the vessel to unify the heaven and earth and bring harmony and alignment to the new earth grid. And it's in this sacred alignment that our body becomes the living temple and our soul embodies this divine vision. So we're very much like the jeweled nodes of Indra's net, each of us reflecting and containing the infinite facets of God, co-creating a reality of unity, love, and boundless potential. So the presentation today is going to integrate, as I mentioned, quantum science, spirituality, astrology, and we talk a lot about frequencies and working on a vibrational way, the blending of wisdoms, of course, ancient wisdoms and future consciousness that's coming online that we are all remembering. And we also emphasize a lot about the need for us to start to embody and practice a new conscious language, which is creator language, where we are no longer speaking from that place of illusion and of blame, victimization, and polarization. And this is really, I feel like our responsibility as we've reached this master's level in evolution, that we start to take hold of our power to be these master creators, to be these weavers, these architects of this new landscape. And of course, astrology is the bridge. It reveals the patterns that connects the self with the universe, which helps to empower us to harmonize and to find greater effectiveness with our navigation. So we will be cautious about our language. However, we don't sugarcoat things either. And again, I feel like this is sort of the master's level of the tight wire that we're having to walk right now in reality, is that we cannot ignore some of the elements that are presenting themselves as far as some of the shadow of Aquarius as we've entered into this new age. But we also aren't going to give it a lot of emotional association. So we have to learn how to talk from that witness perspective, from that space of the one mind. And so whenever we talk about and touch upon the light and the dark, we look at it through the lens of neutrality rather than duality. Because 2025, the global conflict is definitely being reshaped by this convergence of forces, as we know: technological disruption, economic volatility, all these shifting alliances, this rapid expansion of artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency, bringing challenges to the traditional power structures, creating new arenas for expansion, but also competition and control. And so nations and decentralized networks are all vying for dominance in this particular moment. And there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of volatility. It's a lot of AI-driven advancements, which are accelerating innovation and offering solutions. But also there is some nefarious agendas that we're all aware of that we're having to also mitigate. So we are going to look into some of these areas, and we're going to look through the eyes of the witness. And so, wow, humanity is evolving into beyond any kind of human form that we have ever dreamt of, right? We're really all being stretched here to expand our definition or our version of reality, whether it's the UAPs, or the dimensional entities that are coming on. Basically, the boundaries of a reality itself are being stretched. And what once was relegated to the realm of myth or speculation is now commanding global attention. So this is very, very exciting times. For many, it's going to feel also very destabilizing. And so we need to be aware that compassion and patience and allowing for everyone in our world to have their own experience, because this is part of this very interesting shift in consciousness, is that there are simultaneous realities converging at once. There's different timelines that are being experienced, all of us down here on this same earth field. So before we go into 2025, it's really important always to remember the larger spectrum of shifting energies. That is the backdrop. That is the overarching intensity that we are feeling. And that is because one age is ending and the next is beginning. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and going to give a little bit more context maybe for those, or perhaps it'll feel like more of a review into this moment, this epic moment in our evolutionary history, which is the shifting of the astrological ages. And so it has been the case that there's been a rise and a fall of consciousness since the beginning of time. Humanity has fallen asleep and woken up over thousands and thousands of years. And our planet Earth has long been considered to be in a binary system with the star Sirius. Many people aren't aware of this. And this image displays approximately how the yuga cycles and the cycles of the zodiac and the solar system's path through the zodiac align, as well as the orbital timing of the Sol Sirius binary system around this fixed nodal point or barycenter. So you can see here that the Earth and Sirius, when they get far away from each other, we're in the dark ages. When they come towards the barycenter, those are the golden ages, or the ages of light. And you can see here the fall and the rise of humanity through the zodiac. And this is pretty much, I actually have a video that I'm going to let you watch to go a little bit more detail about these larger cycles. The astrological cycles are 2,160 years long, and they have different names depending on different cultures. And so I'm just going to allow this little video to go into more depth with that.
The great year.
A season, and a time to every purpose under heaven.
Lost civilizations, the Golden Age, Shangri-La. Might there be some truth to these ancient tales? Our ancestors spoke of a grand cycle bringing about high ages of enlightenment and low ages of darkness, marked by the movement of the heavens. They said that our sun curves through space moving in a great orbit of its own, pulling the Earth and other planets along with it. If the Earth did move along with the Sun on a curved path through space, we might see the same precession of the equinox through the zodiac and changing of the pole stars that the lunisolar wobble theory now attempts to explain. But it would not be caused by the Earth's wobbling independent of the Sun. It would be caused by the whole solar system curving through space. Another reference frame is at work.
We believe that our Sun moves in space with our entire solar system, that the axis of our Earth remains aligned to a point in space where that is fixed in respect to the equinoxes, it's fixed in respect to all the solstices, so that basically our entire system moves around a point in space.
Just as day and night are caused by the spinning Earth, and the seasons are caused by the Earth's orbit around the Sun, some ancient cultures believed there's an even larger cycle that influences the rise and fall of civilizations. Although these cultures were highly advanced, they seemed to decline into a worldwide dark age. Ancient Egypt, the Greek and Roman empires, the megalithic and Mayan civilizations all collapsed and their knowledge was lost. To Plato and others, this fall of civilization was an inevitable part of the cyclical nature of the great year.
The evidence for these advanced civilizations is almost universal in the sense that they seem to be at their height very near the beginning. There is a cycle corresponding to spring, summer, autumn, winter, and we might say that this prevails metaphysically or spiritually to the human race itself.
This cycle of the ages was given different names by different cultures. To the Greeks, it was the Great Year, broken down into 4 periods: the Iron, Bronze, Silver, and Golden Ages, each age having its own distinct characteristics. The saints and sages of ancient India called it the Yuga cycle. The Babylonians and Egyptians had still other names for it, and the Greco-Roman Mithraic culture identified it simply by its observed celestial movement, the precession of the equinox.
And so it is typical that when we come to this cusp between these massive shifts of timelines, this epics of time, if we're thinking the astrological age is 2,160 years long, it's chaotic. There's world wars, there's pandemics, there's devastating storms, and this is the prophesized time of the apocalypse. This is the time of the great revealing. And so if you're not familiar with maybe the detail around the differences between the Pisces age that's ending and the Aquarian age that's being birthed, this is where astrology becomes invaluable. And whenever you're able to decipher and read the archetypal codes, then you're able to glean the meaning. So Pisces age, Pisces is the fish, right? Swimming in opposite directions. It was an age of duality. It was an age of faith as well. The faith was, I believe that there's something that's greater than me, that's outside of myself. So there was an illusion during the Pisces age that there was a separation between matter and spirit. Man's down here, planet Earth, God somewhere nebulous up here in the sky. And so there was a program that we're separate, that we're powerless. If we feel that we're separate and powerless, we're more easily controlled. So it was a 2,000-year age of hierarchical paradigm, corruption, deception. Yes, this is that prophesized moment, this cusping period where it's all collapsing. Everybody always wants to know, well, when did it actually end? And when did the Pisces age begin? It's more about a blending of endings and beginnings, because if the ages are so long, which they are, 2,000 plus years, that cusp could be 50 or 100 years. But when you know the archetypal energies, and you know that the Aquarius paradigm, the Aquarius archetype has to do with what I call organismic consciousness, where those two fish of duality turn and face each other and recognize each other in the mirror as fractals of the one God. So it's an awakening that not only are we not separate, but we're actually one with Source, God consciousness incarnate in fractal form, waking up and remembering that.